Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Abby and this is Handmaker Haven Homestead. Today I'm going to show you guys everything that I am growing in my 2025 garden, including seeds that I have myself and then also some seeds that I recently purchased. So I have a few goals for this year as far as seeds go. Number one, I am trying to go through a lot of my seeds. So I am trying to use up my seed stores so that in the future I can try new varieties, but I don't want to just keep accumulating seeds and then not using them. So the second thing that I'm trying to do this year is I'm trying to label my seeds better. Last year, if you remember, I had some mystery hot pepper plants that I couldn't really identify, and I'm not sure if that was a labeling issue or an issue with the actual seeds. I'm not really sure. But either way, I do need to do a better job at labeling my seeds and my plants. For example, with my cucumbers that I grew last year, I grew a whole row of like 3 or 4 different varieties. And the cucumbers did great, but I didn't know which ones were which, so I couldn't really save seeds with any certainty of what they would be. Now, if I was just saving them for myself, it wouldn't be a huge deal, but because I sell plants at my farm stand, it's a little bit bigger of an issue, if you would call it that. I'm going to really try and do better at labeling them, because the last thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to save a lot more seeds. So you will see sprinkled here throughout the ones that I have some seeds that I saved from last year. I have quite a few, but I would like to be better at saving seeds this year. We will just get right into it. Before we go into the seeds, I'm going to tell you guys the plants that I already have in my garden. Not all of them, but some of them. So first, I have some perennial herbs. So I have oregano, thyme, sage, rosemary, lavender, stuff like that. And then I also, if you remember my overwintering peppers video, I have some pepper plants. They're being stored in a basement right now. So for those, I have paprika, California Wonder, jalapeno, Anaheim chili, cayenne, carnival blend, sweet twister, and enjoya peppers there. I'm looking over here because I have my whole list on my computer. I'm not going to be growing a ton of new pepper plants for my own garden. Again, I said I have a farm stand, so I will be growing some for that. But in general, I'm not going to be growing a ton of new pepper plants for my own personal garden, because hopefully those overwintered pepper plants will work. So other than that, I have fruit in my orchard, but I will show you guys that another time in another video. And one last thing before I get into the seeds that I have here, I have a couple of things that have not come in yet or that I might buy still. So my strawberry plants, I've ordered them, but one thing that most seed companies do that's very nice is they will send you your strawberry plants when they need to be planted. If you watched my video from last week, you will know that I did not do that last year with my strawberries and they all rotted. They have not come in yet, but for those, I'm getting Albion and Honeyoe. It's spelled honey with OYE at the end. Hopefully those will come soon, or hopefully they will come when they need to, and then I will plant them out in the ground. Let's just get right into it for my 2025 seeds. So we're going to start out with the seeds that I have saved in my own library, or not saved, but the seeds from my own library, not the ones that I just bought new. So first we will do tomatoes. I'm growing, I'm growing 6 different varieties of tomatoes. So I'm growing Brandywine Pink, I'm growing Roma, and then I have yellow pear tomato seeds. These are some of my favorite. My grandparents always grew them when I was growing up, so they're sentimental to me. And then I'm growing San Marzano, which is another Roma paste tomato. And then these are just grape tomato seeds. Oh, and then the last tomato that I'm growing, I have a couple different packets of it, but these are my favorite cherry tomatoes. These are the Gardener's Delight. Most of these I will probably use up to sell at the farm stand because, as you will see in a little bit, I got some more in the mail today. We will do the peppers. The only one, I believe, that I'm going to restart again is going to be my hot peppers, and I'm going to label them very well. So these are Hungarian paprikas, and then I have the Anaheim chili and the long slim cayenne. Next is for my green beans. I'm growing a couple different varieties of green beans. Most of them are going to be these. These are the Kentucky Wonder pole beans. I grow them on my arch trellis. It is so pretty in the summer when they are all up on the trellis. A lot of them are beans that I saved from last year. So really hoping that those germinate well. And then I am growing some bush beans. These are Bush Blue Lake 47s. Next, we have broccoli. I have never grown broccoli. This is the Kiko. I don't know exactly how you say that, but Cicco. Broccoli. I have never grown it. I was given this packet of seeds from someone, so I'm going to try it this year and see if it works. Brassicas, which are the plants that are like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, all of those, they don't really make good companion plants for most other things that I'm growing in my garden, so I tend to stay away from them a little bit. Maybe eventually I will have my own like separate garden that's just for brassicas, but I haven't gotten that far yet. The next thing is my zucchini that I'm growing. This is just the dark green summer squash zucchini variety. Zucchini always does pretty well. I don't know if I mentioned it in my last video, but I planted these. I planted too many last year and they got powdery mildew and died. So I'm going to plant less of them and spread them out a bit more. And usually zucchinis do very well for us in zone 6A. Next is celery. This is the tall Utah variety. It's just your typical celery. Last year it didn't do great because I forgot to water it, but again, I talked about that in my last video. Next, we are going to do our spinach, which I'm doing two different varieties of spinach. I'm doing baby leaf and Bloomsdale long standing. Last year I tried to do spinach and it didn't work out too great. So hopefully that will do better next year. And then we have lettuce here. I just spilled water all over the table, so these seed packets are wet, which is hopefully not going to be an issue. But I have butter crunch lettuce, a gourmet blend, and Paris Island lettuce. I've heard that Paris Island is a really good romaine. I didn't grow any last year, so I'm hoping that it will do well this year. And then here I have a mix. These are my leftover seeds from last year. There was three different varieties in here. This mesclun lettuce, and then I had Lolo Biondo, which was a very like curly lettuce, and then more butter crunch. So I will probably just mix all these together and throw them down on my lettuce bed. Now we have my radishes. I'm growing French breakfast radishes, sparkler, and early scarlet globe. I'm also growing beets, so I have Detroit dark red and early wonder. And finally, for my vegetable seeds that I'm growing, I have my carrots. So here I have Bambino carrots, I have short and sweet, I have Danvers 126, and Nante's half long. Next, I have my melons that I'm growing. So I have some different watermelon seeds that I have saved throughout the years. I have these cantaloupe from a local farmer's market, and these cantaloupe seeds that I saved from our trip in Virginia, we got this really big cantaloupe, and I was like, oh, I'll save the seeds. So hopefully these do well. And then I have some Korean melon seeds. I'm just going to take a little break really quick here to show you guys how I organize my seeds. And for me, it's pretty simple at this point because I don't have a crazy amount. Now, you might think that I have a ton, but for some gardeners, this is not much at all. So what I do, like for these melon seeds, I have them all in their own little plastic baggies. Now, if you're putting them in plastic baggies, you have to make sure that they are completely dry or they will mold. So these I leave out for weeks up to a month just to make sure they are completely dry. And then I label the bags. They're super easy to label. And then I have gallon-sized Ziploc bags that I just put them all in with the name of the category on the front. It's easy for me. It works right now. Maybe in the future I will have a more detailed organization for them. But right now, that is what works. And then for my edible food, I have this bin, and then I have a box for all my flowers. Moving on, I have my pumpkins and squash. I have these separated into decorative squash and edible squash, and instead of pulling them all out because they all look like the same seeds, I will just tell you what I have, and then I will put pictures of them up on the screen. For my decorative squash, I have a number of assorted different decorative squash, those tiny little baby pumpkins, some bigger pumpkins. I didn't really go into too much detail on that, but a bunch of random pumpkins. And then for these, I have pie pumpkins, butternut squash, buttercup squash, spaghetti squash, and acorn squash. Moving on, I will share with you the herbs and mints and such that I have. So here I have cilantro. You can't really see it. I believe, yes, this is cilantro. Some dill seeds that I saved from last year. There are two different varieties in here. I have mammoth dill and bouquet dill. Just parsley here. This is Italian dark green parsley. Next, I have my mint. I love mint, but if you're going to grow mint, you need to grow it in some kind of container unless you want it to take over everywhere where you grow it. So I have mine planted in tires that I got from someone for free. They are just out as kind of like a border around my garden. So here I have spearmint, another thing that I bought once and never had to buy again. I have peppermint, which I bought last year. And then I also bought a strawberry mint plant last year from a little nursery near us. I have here lemon balm, and then I have bee balm. Moving on, we are going to do the flowers that I have seeds for. First, a wildflower seed mix. It is just one that I got because I had a coupon for somewhere, so I bought it. It is supposed to cover 1,000 square feet, so we'll see if that works. Next is my marigolds. I have a really big plastic container upstairs of marigold seeds that my grandparents saved a long time ago. These are the red and orange flowered ones. And then these I also got on my vacation to Virginia last year. These are just straight up orange marigold seeds. I have some anemones. These were given to me, as well as these gladiolus bulbs, and there's the other one, these ixias. I have my nasturtium. I have a couple different varieties of nasturtiums in here. I have dwarf cherry rose and tall single mixed colors. This is the mixed colors. The dwarf cherry rose is just red, but they look generally the same. Next, we have some cosmos. I have cosmic orange, which are just a bright orange cosmos. And then I saved some seeds from last year. We have my China asters. 98% positive that that's what they are. I saved them from my cousin's wedding bouquet. These ones are pink and white striped, and then these were just white. They were like a creamy white. Canterbury bells. This is the cup and saucer mixed colors. And then I have some calendula. This is the dwarf fiesta blend. Next, I have some snapdragons that I grew last year, but this one is the Fairy's Best Dwarf Mix, and this one is the Tall Deluxe Mixed Colors. Saved the seed packets from last year for each of these. I didn't separate what all the different varieties were of the sunflowers. I just saved all the seeds and mixed them together. So the only ones that I know what they are these ones because I got them from a friend. These are the giant sunflower seeds. I just had a mix of different ones. This one's just called Mixed Colors. This one was Mammoth Russian. This one was just Mammoth. And then this one was Moonwalker. Just a mixture of different sunflower seeds. And kind of the same goes for my zinnias. I went out and bought a bunch of zinnia packets. And zinnias are something that are super expensive to buy the seeds. So it's really important for me that I save my seeds. Candy cane mix and giant cactus flower, mini zinni. These are like tiny little baby ones. And then the rest of them are just your normal zinnias. There's quite a lot of them. Now, what you have all been waiting for so patiently, these are all of the seeds that I got. So first from Walmart, I got these. These are the Sumter pickling cucumbers. They're some of my favorites. For my fluffy sunflowers, I got a couple different varieties, hoping that they will be the big, beautiful ones, but I'm not totally positive. So I have here the dwarf teddy bear. I got these from Walmart as well. And then these two I got from a store in our area. It's called Ocean State Job Lot. It's like a liquidation store kind of. So these are the citrus sunflowers and the teddy bear sunflowers. So next we will do Amazon. This is my first time opening these, so I'm not even sure which seeds are in here. Some more beet seeds that I got. I am doing a couple different successions of beets, and I did not have enough seeds for what I wanted. So I'm hoping that these ones will do good. I just found a variety pack on Amazon. I can link them down below. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, but they're pretty on the inside. And then these are some more Detroit dark reds. These are Cylindra beets. These ones are more early wonder beets. And these are the golden Detroit beets. They're so beautiful. So I will let you know how those turn out. And this is nice. They also came with some little plant markers. Next, this is another Amazon package. This is apple mint, so kind of like the strawberry mint. I have heard very good things about apple mint. I love growing mint because I really love to make different mint tea blends, and they are just really good for different things. Like certain ones are good for digestion, certain ones are good for immunity. And then these I'm also very excited about. I have never grown milkweed before, but one of the things that people say is you really want pollinators, and I have bees on my property. I don't just want bees on my property. I also want butterflies because they're some of my favorite creatures. I got a 5-pack of different milkweeds. This one is just common pink. This one is butterfly orange. This one is white swamp. This one is showy. And this one is pink swamp. So I'm hoping that these will grow really well and I can have some more pollinators. And the nice thing about milkweed is it is actually a perennial. So I will be able to just plant it once and then have it for years to come. Next, we will do Burpee. So I have cucumbers, I have pickle bush and straight 8, both of which I grew last year and I really loved them. I have 3 different types of sweet peppers. These are all 3 like the bag that you would buy with the different colored little snacking peppers in them. So I have red, orange, and yellow. Then we have those Gardener's Delight tomatoes that I was talking about. I just wanted to get more just in case mine from last year don't germinate. I really love the Gardener's Delight tomatoes. So for flowers, I got some more zinnias. I got Oklahoma mixed colors, Sonora, and more candy cane. Then I have some poppies. I have sunset mixed colored California poppies, and then really fun apple blossom. And then I have some nasturtiums. This is just the Alaska mixed color variety. I'm going to plant these as a border around my garden so that they can crawl up the fence and hopefully deter some animals from jumping over the fence or coming through the fence. And then the last thing from Burpee that I got was snapdragons. I got a topper hybrid mixed colors and opus apple blossom. So last but not least, I will open my botanical interest box again. I really like Botanical Interest. In all of their orders, they send a thank you packet of seeds. They sent me one today. That's just very nice to know. You know, they just give you a little gift for the plants that are in here. Dun dun dun. Paris Island lettuce, Hungarian blue breadseed poppies. But these are really pretty. I'm hoping to be able to save the seeds from these to use as in like culinary uses. Italian Genovese basil. I have loofah gourd. I have a early prolific straight neck summer squash and another summer squash. This is Black Beauty zucchini. Now we have some flat leaf parsley, some borage, coriander, cilantro. Then I have some melon seeds. I have Sweet Delight honeydew, Hale's Best jumbo honeydew. I got some chamomile. Then I got some more beans. I got Gold Rush bush beans. These are like a yellow bean. Royal Burgundy bush beans. I got Cascadia snap peas, and then Sugar snap peas. And I got some lavender. This is the Munstead variety. Carrots. I got more Danvers 126 and then some more Nantes carrots. These ones are the Scarlet variety. And then the last and final packet of seeds that I got is this tall maximum blend of snapdragons. Thank you so much for watching. It is now time for me to organize all these seeds so they are ready to plant in only a couple of months. Some of them only a couple of weeks, so that is very exciting. And subscribe so that you can see when I do plant them. And next week's video will be all about how I'm planting in my garden and how I'm going to fix the problems from last year's garden. And if you want to see what some of those problems were and some of my wins from last year, you can watch that video and it's going to pop up in a second. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye.